We're bringing back shake and bake. Okay, fun fact. When I was a child, my mom did all the cooking, but she was also a coach. So every once in a while, she had to travel with the teams. And so my dad would have to fend for himself with us three kids. And there was two things that he could do. He could either order Chinese takeout or he could make shake and bake. And let me tell you, when my dad used to make that chicken shake and bake when my mom was out of town, we loved it. So I have the best memories about shake and bake from my childhood, but now I just make it myself. Now I have a ton of shake and bake recipes, but tonight I'm just gonna make a classic and I'm gonna make it with pork. I usually keep at least one jar of the traditional shake and bake mix in my pantry. But if you're really crazy, you can make a whole bunch of them and keep them so that you have them ready to go any night of the week. Now, there's one thing I do a little differently from the traditional shake and bake is that they had sugar in theirs to get that caramelization and that browning in the oven. I don't put sugar in my recipe, but tonight I'm going to test it out. I'm going to do one pork chop with sugar and one pork chop without, just so that we can see if it really makes a difference. I don't cook pork very often because although I love it, my husband doesn't. So he's out of town tonight. So I'm going to make pork chop for myself. It's super easy to make. I'm going to give you guys the base recipe and you can add or subtract whatever you want. If you feel like I don't have enough salt, add a little bit more. If you feel like you want to add something spicy, add a little bit of spice. You can't go wrong with some breadcrumbs and some seasoning, okay? Okay, first I'm going to take my already made shake and bake. I'm going to separate it into two and put sugar in one, leave the other one as is. And then as my binder, I'm going to use some mayo and some mustard. That combo will never fail you when you're oven frying stuff, I promise. We're going to slather that on. And then in true shake and bake form, we're gonna grab a bag and shake, shake, shake. Then we're going in the oven at 400 degrees. When you're oven frying or baking in the oven and you want a crispy texture, I think it's really important to use a rack because that way the air can get underneath and then all parts of your meat are getting crispy, top and bottom. But if you don't have one of these, just make sure you flip it halfway through. And there you go, a homemade version of your 90s shake and bake, pork style, but you can do this with chicken too.